married life.
Yeah.
Why Brittney?
Well, this is how I met Brittney. Brittney was working as an intern my second year in the league.
It was summer training camp. This is back in the 2-a-day time, so everyone's exhausted. He was playing, and I just kept seeing these fly balls flying in my direction. I was like, man, that guy can't catch for anything.
So Roy Williams at the time, he was like, man, you see that girl over there? You know, you got camp eyes, you know. Any female at the time just walking around, because all you see is dudes. Any female looks good. Right. And Roy was like, man, I bet you won't go say nothing. I'm like, man, you crazy. How much you want to bet? And he bet put 100 on it. So, end up saying, long story short, he gave me that 100. I went to go meet her after practice when she was on her way to the car. I feel like I was all nasty and sweaty probably. But anyway, I tracked her down, went to go holler at her.
I didn't find that out until years afterward, but yeah, so that's why those fly balls kept coming in my direction. I guess he was trying to get my attention.
Love at first sight?
Yeah, no.
She was like, nope, don't want no parts of that because I know. I'm like, how you know? She's like, there's a thing called social media. I was like, oh, okay, okay. Now social media gets you in trouble. But
and you're also a football player too, and she, you know, grew up in a football family and probably knows better.
Exactly. She already knows. She's like, okay, y'all out here being dogs and stuff like that. Yeah,
right.
yeah. You know, but it was 5 years later before we even really got acquainted again.
So how did you guys go out for the first time?
She hit me up saying, I'm coming through Atlanta, you know, and I'm like, oh, shoot, that's what's up, but I'm going to Florida. I'm going down to Miami with the boys, you know, and she's like, oh, shoot, I'm going to Miami too. I'm like, oh, shit, that's crazy. I'm going out for my birthday. And I'm like, oh, shoot, this is an opportunity. So we're down there, and I actually get her a cake.
I did not expect that for a big 6'5", 230-pound man to have someone bring in a birthday cake with sparklers to one of the hottest clubs in Miami. No one would be expecting that, but yeah, now that was really sweet.
It worked, and then from that point on, we're talking, and now we're here, yeah.
Okay, so one of the stranger proposal stories.
Oh, yeah. So, the night of proposal, I forget, I'm getting some award in Baltimore.
Wait, we need to backtrack to you mailing a package to the house and asking her to pick it up for you.
I totally forgot about that, wow.
So Calvin, he called me one day. We were going to France on vacation. He called me and he said, hey, I've got this box. It's in a cabinet. Can you go grab it? I'm like, yeah, sure. He calls me maybe 30 minutes later and he's like, just keep it with you. Put it in your purse. Don't look at it. I'll see you when you get here. I'm like, okay, why is he being so weird about this box?
And this is like a year before you proposed.
This is a while before I proposed.
So we go to France, and I'm starting to think maybe there's an engagement ring in there. Is he going to propose? So the whole trip, I'm on guard. I'm like, okay, this is it. He's going to propose. The trip goes by.
And you're in France.
And we're in France. It's beautiful.
Right.
Nothing. So I'm like, okay, did he change his mind? What did I do? What's happening? What's in that box? Is it for me? Is it for someone else? What was it? So fast forward a year later, we just kind of forgot about it, and he proposed in Baltimore.
We're walking back up the pier, and I was like, you know, let me see your finger, you know, and I was messing with her, because I knew I was going to propose to her that night, but I wanted to mess with her before. And
Did she know it was coming?
She didn't know it was coming. She started to get excited, and I was like, I just want to measure your finger, see what your ring size is or whatever. I was just messing around, and she was pissed.
So he kept asking me, he was like, well, what size ring do you wear? And I was like, I don't know. Like, well, I have a ring sizer. Can I put it on your hand? I was like, who carries a ring sizer? Like, A, where'd you get that? B, why do you have it now? It's midnight.
She was very mad. She started to storm off. And I was like, hold on, come back, you know, and then I got down on my knee, and I actually pulled the ring out and actually proposed to her, and yeah, she said yes, and that was that.
And I finally asked him, I said, what was in that box a year ago? And he was like, oh yeah, your ring was in there. I just couldn't find the right time to do it. I think he forgot he had it there, honestly.
Done with kids?
Done with kids. She says we're done. I got 3 boys. I got a 7-year-old boy from a former relationship. He's 7 years old. And then I got a 3-year-old and I got a 4-month-old.
What's the hardest part of parenting in the way you want with your son that lives in Atlanta?
It's tough because obviously, you know, your co-parent might not see eye to eye on everything, but you know, it's just really just, you know, trying to keep the lines of communication open. They weren't great at first because obviously, you know, you got the whole baby mama situation and you're not married. There's tension there between families and stuff. We all went through that, but that was, you know, 7 years ago, and now we're at a point where You know, I invited her to the Hall of Fame ceremony. You know, him and the mom came, and we're all in there just, you know, we even partied after together. So it's a good thing to be in a situation where we're all on the same page.
What's he like as a dad?
Oh, Calvin's a great dad. He turns into like a big kid when he's around our boys. I mean, they horseplay so much. I'm honestly nervous for someone to get hurt because he likes to get down and play with them on the floor, but he loves to play with the kids. And that's one thing I'm thankful that he's got all his faculties about him still, that he can play with them.
And how do you and Brittney co-parent?
You know, we switch off. Like there'd be some times where, you know, I'd be on the boys hard and then she'd be chill and she's like, calm down there, all right.
I think we've got a good balance of good cop, bad cop. For the most part, our kids they know that neither one of us is going to play around with them, but at the same time, we're their safe space. So whatever it is they have to talk about or emotions that they may not be able to express yet, we're here to help them with that.
And he said on the rare occasion you do get mad, he doesn't mess with you.
Oh yeah, no, he's like, all right, let's leave her alone.
I don't say nothing to her when she get on. I'm just let her do what she do.